everybody, it's Chef Laura, and we're going to take a culinary tour of Buon Italia in the Chelsea Market in New York City. So let's go on inside and see what we have, because if you have me stand any longer by this deli case right here, I might just have to stop and have a snack, because there are so many wonderful things that they have as prepared foods. But the cool thing about this particular store is that you can get all the ingredients yourself and then make them at home. So let's go inside and see what we've got. Pasta. You never know what to choose. Check this out. We've got this one, which is looks like a spaghetti with a little bit of a lemon infusion. Now, this is something I'm probably not going to get it on into my luggage to take it back on the plane. Check this out, though. I mean, that is called a really cool protruded pasta. Can you imagine what you could do with sauce? This would be great with the bolognese, because the sauce will get inside the noodle also, making every bite absolutely fantastic. Just remember, when you're making your pasta, that you have plenty of water boiling in the pot with plenty of salt, so that when the pasta cooks, it can absorb some of that water and it doesn't end up sticking to each other or to the pot. Okay? French-style lentils right here. And these are Turkish. So you actually could use them interchangeably in recipes, but if you wanted to, I would actually match or use the lentil that's going to pop more in the dish that I'm preparing. So either way, when you're cooking lentils, don't add any salt to the water, because if you do, the lentil itself will not cook. It will actually, the shell will remain very, very hard. So just no salt in the water. Farro is an old world grain in Italy. It was actually dominant in the cuisine until corn actually took over, hence polenta, etc. Farro is this is a wonderful grain. You want to soak this for a couple hours if possible, even overnight if you want, and then drain it before you cook it. Okay, so it kind of breaks down the hull a little bit and lets it's a little bit nutty in flavor. Absolutely fantastic with mushrooms, shallots. Kind of cook it almost as you would a risotto, adding stock over time. So I think I'm going to take this one. Almonds, almond flour. Did you know that anything you grind up becomes flour? So that's how we have sesame seed. You can grind sesame seeds up and make sesame flour. You can do the same thing with buckwheat. You can do the same thing with rice, and that's how you have rice flour. So it's just pureeing it down to a very, very fine form. Confit, frozen also. Confit means that it's actually been cooked using its own fat and preserved that way. So this is basically balsamic vinegar that's been reduced with grape must, as well as a little bit of sugars like honey, for example, and it's reduced down to give it a really, really nice reduction, thickness for glazes and everything. So this was definitely going on. Explode, then pay close attention, because I'm standing in JB Prince down in Midtown, I guess, in New York City, and this is foodie paradise in terms of all the tools for the trade. So as I walk through here, I'm just going nuts. Like, for example, this is not easy to find. This is a Chinese mandolin. So when you see those like beautifully long strands of daikon radish, for example, on your plate when you're ordering your tataki, this is what will generate. This is known as a flat whisk, and what's really nice about these is when you're making sauces and you're in a sauce or a saute pan, you can actually get into the edges of the pan, so you can ensure that nothing is sticking to the side. Everything's getting mixed evenly. So I'm sure Beth is trying to drag me out of the store by this point, because I've spent the last 10 minutes just gazing lovingly at these things. These are called flexi molds or flexible molds, and they're made of silicone, so you can put them into the oven or the freezer, and everything just pops right out of them, and they bake in the exact shape that the mold is. Obviously, you need to put them on a sheet tray, otherwise they're gonna. So you want to make little baked donuts? You can do little baked donuts. If you want to do, I do my baby cheesecakes in these, for example. You can set chocolate up in them and make little chocolate bars or something along those lines. They have something called a financier. That's these right here. That's the shape of this. So what you do is you pour your gelatin, for example, your panna cotta, and then you can just flip this over and then pop everything out, and you have this beautifully shaped pyramid, which is known as a financier. So I'm in total heaven right now. And this is just